Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray C8 in multiplayer in Asphalt 9 at Golden Max in its multiplayer season. I have no idea why they did not put C8 in the name for this car in the game, but I guess that's not a big deal. And I think the reason why Gameloft made this season now is so that people would be able to tell a little bit better whether or not they wanted to go for the Legend Pass, because if people got a chance to drive the car and they liked it, they might be more likely to go for it, which is definitely one thing that it seems like Gameloft has been doing more recently for the past several months, but it's not something they did at the very beginning of the game, having max free try seasons before or during the beginning, or at least before the very end of the special events or wherever you could get the cars. I'd say that would definitely pay off for the Tuatar, because people figured out that it's definitely one of the best cars in the game, and quite possibly the new king in multiplayer ahead of the Jesko, although it is debatable whether or not it is better than the Jesko in events. I've heard some differing opinions about that, and it generally made people want to get the car even more. And then Gameloft comes out with the super hard event for it that most people are not going to be able to finish, because you have to have the Bailey at 3 stars, you have to have this Stingray, and then they make packs for the Tuatara, which you can purchase for 120 tokens or 1200 for 10 of them, which is, I think, the most expensive that we've ever seen packs have. But in those, they have a chance to give the key to that car. Now, Lucas, for example, got it after spending just 2400 tokens, or 2 of the 10 times packs, but someone else spent 12,000 tokens opening 10 of the 10 times packs and did not get the key. So this is a very, very risky thing. I have spent 1200 on it. I bought one of them just to see if I would get it on my first try, like I've seen a couple people do. I did not, so I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to try to do more. Most likely what I'll do is wait a few days and see what kind of luck the majority of people have with it. If it turns out that most people get it in the first few packs, I might go for buying some more, but if most people end up not getting it and it's only a few that do in the first few, then it's definitely going to be a better idea for me to just not go for them and save my tokens for something that I'm guaranteed to get, like another blueprint car coming, the McLaren F1 LM, for example, which is going to be in B class, which has been in the game for a while, but just not really available to get anywhere. Gameloft hasn't said anything about it, but we've only seen it in the garage. That car could definitely become a new B class king, probably going to be the fastest car in B class. So, you know, that is one thing that I could definitely save tokens for. I'm hoping its special event is not too bad. But now let's get back to talking about the Corvette. We've come in first place in these first 2 races, and we can tell kind of in the season who has purchased the Legend Pass and who hasn't, because I'm pretty sure you can only get that American decal if you have bought the Legend Pass, which I'm sure a lot of you are wondering whether or not it is worth it. Previously, before these packs came out, I would say if you want to get the Tuatara, then it's definitely worth it because you have to get it for that car. Otherwise, I would say most likely not, because while it is situated pretty high in Class C, it only goes 213 miles per hour at max. The Aranera, Vencer, and Gallardo all go a lot faster than that, and I think those cars will be able to beat it on any track. Now, this car is required for the Tuatara event, but now that those key packs have come out, I'm not really sure even if you should buy this if you're going for the Tuatara. If you do not want to take your luck with the packs and you have a 3-star Bailey and you really want to get the Tuatara, then you might be better off buying this if you don't mind it, and then going for the Tuatara in the event to get it guaranteed, rather than spending thousands, possibly 10,000 tokens or more, and not even get the car. Basically, I would say the Legend Pass is only worth it if it is the final thing you need in order to get the Tuatara guaranteed in its special event. Otherwise, probably not worth it. I finally begun going to the left here because I have realized that it is slightly faster overall, though I still wonder why the other way isn't faster, because it seems like the same distance and you have that ramp that you can go up to gain more airspeed. I don't know, it's probably really similar overall. So now we're on Osaka, and with this car, I believe at the beginning of this track it's better to just turn around the first turn and then use single nitro. That is one thing about cars that are decently agile, such as this one, and have a relatively low top speed, like below 230 or so miles per hour, is a lot of turns. You can actually get up to your top speed quicker by not drifting as much and then just using orange nitro to get up to your top speed rather than drifting more and keeping it at a lower speed longer and then using shockwave to maybe get up to your top speed a little bit faster, but by then you've already lost time by drifting more. If you guys get what I mean, there's some turns that it is good to do that with in this car versus the way you might do it in another car, because with super high top speed cars, shockwave is definitely going to be more useful because orange nitro doesn't get you to your top speed as well as shockwave nitro does. It's just if you don't have to go up much speed to get to your normal top speed anyway, shockwave nitro might not be as useful. Whenever we get a max free tri-season, because the car shows as max stars there, I always feel like we should be able to change the color to what we want to, like you can on a normal car after you get it past 2 stars. But I guess the reason they didn't allow that is so that you couldn't just change the color in one of these seasons and then keep the color changed afterwards. Although they could just revert it back. But I guess I'd never really understood just in general why they locked the custom color changing behind 2 stars. I guess just to give people another reason to upgrade their cars to higher stars. Little visual incentives, kind of like the carbon fiber for maxing out your car, and I can sort of understand that. It's just sort of annoying at times. And you know what else is annoying? The emojis. I have seen them used literally 3 or 4 times ever since the update has come out over a month ago at this point. And so often I'll be trying to click nitro with my mouse and I accidentally click the emoji thing, and the thing is I'm pretty sure that most people aren't going to have a problem with this on PC because I'm one of the only people that I know who uses a mouse to use the nitro, so I guess that is one of the disadvantages with it. You can click that thing more easily without meaning to, but on iOS or Android you could very easily tap it, especially since it's a smaller screen and you're just trying to tap nitro quickly. It just seems like a rather pointless addition that I had not seen a single person ask for, and I have no idea why they really added it. I would personally have rather seen something like what we've seen in Forza, where they have certain catchphrases that you can use, and you could switch them out to whatever you wanted to, and there's a ton of them that you could use. I just feel like the emojis just seem rather cheesy to most people. And while trying to use one, you could very easily tap something wrong or do something to mess you up in the race, and it's just not going to be worth it in most cases. Here, I ride along the side of my tires for a couple of seconds before finally riding. Yes, usually if I got into a situation like that, I would have wrecked. Thankfully, I didn't in that case, and we've just got this one Corvette here left to catch up to. And the reason why I'm showing at the end of the race the leaderboard isn't so you can see the cars, because obviously all the cars are the same in this season, but you can see the names of the people. In normal seasons, we can see the cars, so it makes more sense, but just in case anyone was wondering why I do that in this season, that is the reason. We've passed this guy here, and we are now coming up toward the end of the race, where I usually do not take that barrel over on the left because so often it has just caused me problems with hitting the little ledge up above it, and it doesn't really save a whole lot of time anyway, so usually I just don't go for it. That's one thing you guys have probably noticed about me. I generally do not like to take risks in multiplayer. A lot of the time it does pay off, but in those situations where it is extremely close, taking risks can definitely mean the difference between winning or losing. And if you're in a situation where you're guaranteed not to win without taking risks, then it makes more sense to take the risks, because then you have at least more than a 0% chance of winning, which you would have otherwise unless the other person did something risky and then wrecked because of it. I don't know, it's a little weird. It's up to everybody what kinds of risky stuff they want to do, because the same thing pretty much is never going to happen twice. And we have a very close final race here in which I will give my general review about this car. Overall, it is a fun car to drive. I enjoyed playing it in this season. None of its stats are particularly good, but none of them are particularly bad either. But I just don't think in most cases the Legend Pass is a worthwhile purchase to get this car, because the Aranera and Gallardo are better than this car, although I wouldn't be surprised if you see it in the events occasionally. And you can now just get the Tuatara key in the packs. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!